Hey everybody, it's Minecraft Mama. I am working on building an apartment building. I'm kind of making a modern apartment in my mega village that I've been working on. You can see a little bit more about the village in the other um, video that I made about it. I just added those two houses that is kind of the backs of that you can see there. But what I did is I put down the grid for the bottom of it, and my plan is to have it open in the middle, which I'll then put like plants and stuff in the middle of it, and then those stairs will kind of wind up and around the outside. So what I did is I just put down the grid so that I knew where it was and leveled it somewhat, and then kind of chose the color scheme that I want to use. And now that I'm looking at the color scheme, reminds me of those weird plastic cups from like the 90s or something. But anyway, so I'm going to just start by filling in the floor. And I'm not sure whether that's going to be an outside floor piece or inside floor piece. And then usually what I like to do when I'm building a bigger building like this is I'll fill in the floor for the whole space, because my plan is that each one of these, as you're looking at it, it's kind of divided into 4 quadrants, that those are each going to be an apartment, although some of the ones on the ground floor I was thinking about possibly making into a store. So I'm going to start by filling in the floor here on the bottom one, and my plan for this video is to make kind of the grid, like the overall pattern for it, and then I don't need the second layer, and then get that down. And then, since it's probably not going to be super exciting to watch me just filling in a whole bunch of stuff, once I have the initial pattern down, I'll go off camera and finish it in, and then start another video where I'm showing like the things that I'm doing to make it interesting inside, like working on the I want to see if I can figure out a way to make it like a hanging garden kind of place in the center, which is why I left that middle part just grass, because I think that I'm going to probably keep it grass. And the reason I haven't built the walls up yet is because I think I'm going to use a lot of glass in the walls, and plus I'm going to have more of the, as you can see I have right here, that's the blue terracotta and the cyan concrete, and then the white concrete, and then this is the warped planks that I'm using for the flooring. And then I use, for the stairs, it's the polished diorite stairs. I just like the way it all looked together, and it's not too far outside of the realm of the colors and things that I've been using in my mega village, but it's definitely, since everything, if you look, has the gray stone and the more somber kind of colors of the terracotta, so it's definitely going to be a little bit different as far as the color schemes go, although these are color schemes that I like personally. So it's going to definitely look a lot different. It'll be, you know, like that one weird building in your town that kind of, it's cool, but it's not like any other building. That's what this building is going to be in my mega village, because it's going to be very different than all the other ones that are already here. And I plan to use a lot of glass on the outside also once I kind of figure out the pattern, and probably clear glass, but I'll have to play around with that and see how it looks. Okay. So now how I made this was, if you see it, since it's filled in, it's easier to kind of see. There's going to be 2 entrances, one on this side by the Gray Road, and then one on this side by the Village Path Road that I extended down from that part of the village. Eventually there's probably going to be a village road running down that side beside the Gray Road, but I'm not entirely sure yet. So now I need to figure out what kind of lighting I want to use. I just have used the lanterns, but I may end up using the blue C blocks. I don't really want to use the blue lanterns because they give kind of a strange light. So you can see I put the steps, and I always put railings on things because I'm very good at falling off of the edge. And then my plan is that this will wrap around, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around. It will wrap around so there will be this much of a walkway, and I'm going to just put this up like the other corners. Oops, apparently there's a sheep nearby, just so I have a reference as to where this is going. And then my plan is that the next set of steps will start from here. So, and how I did that was I just laid the diorite, polished diorite, and then I did the warp planks and kind of went back. Oops, didn't do that. I went back and forth to get the height, and I'm going to keep it the same height, even though the upper floors don't necessarily need to have that much height, but I want to keep it the same. So that's going to be, we have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have 3 so far, so we need 3 more. I like to kind of count things out, and it just helps keep track of how things are going and making things even when you're building. Alright, so that should be our last one. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. And then you can see there's like one little jog in, and then I'm just going to extend this up again so I'll have the idea of where we're going. And the reason I'm not bringing it out further is because I'm probably going to do a wall there, so I didn't want to give myself that expectation of where I wanted to make sure that the walkway seemed like it had enough room, because that's what this would be then. And then we'll extend this out so I can get this down there. Alright. And I think I'm thinking that I'm just going to make it like put one more level on top of this, because I didn't want it to tower too much above all the other ones. In my city, I know I have a bunch of bigger buildings, but there's a lot of them together, so it doesn't feel as out of place as this would be if I made it like did 5 levels up. There'd be just so much stuff. So let's take that off, and that doesn't go there, and then we'll come across this way. And like I said, we're just going to do one more level up, and then that will give us the whole up to the top that we're going to do. And there we go. So we'll go one out. Now we just need to make sure. Yep, we're good. And it's on the, I already forgot, is it on the one out? Yeah. Alright, so we got a again, we'll do our set of 6. And one thing I find, especially if you're making something unusual, is that if there's a pattern that it helps, so it looks, I don't want to say neater, but I mean, it does make it makes it easier for the eye to look at when there's some kind of oops, that is not what I meant to do. If there's a pattern that you can, like, that draws your eye along rather than too many disjointed, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, too many just disjointed, like, twists and turns, and so it doesn't make sense to your brain. And especially if you're building in something like this where it's definitely going to be different than the other ones, so you want to make sure that it's still going to be cool to look at, even though it's going to be different than everything around it. I'm adding all kinds of stray blocks there. Okay. So let's get this one up. And so then that means that what's probably, let's get this. And the reason that I chose it as 3 is because I knew that there was going to need to be railing there, and I like to have at least 2 to walk on. That's just kind of my personal preference. I have a hard time sometimes if there's only one doorway getting through. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to here and then end it. So this will come just to the edge right here. And then that will end right there. So then if we look all the way down, you can see it's going to be a straight shot down. Just go down. And then if we look up, you can see we got the staircases winding up there. I mean, it's going to look a little bit different once we put all the railings and stuff on it, but you kind of get the idea of what's going to happen on the inside. And then let's take a look at it here from the side. Yeah, see how it's going to be taller, because this is just going to be the floor level, so it's already going to be taller than the closest building to it and any of the other buildings around it, if it's going to be the floor level. So we're looking at least another 6 blocks up that it's going to be actually going to get, like, the window and roof and everything on it. And so my thought is that it's going to be an open glass roof in the center and then a regular kind of roof around the outside. Now my thought was that I would do how I have these colors and then figure out some kind of a pattern, and on the inside also, which is why I didn't really fill any of this stuff in yet, is that there would be a bunch of windows here because there's going to be this interior, like, greenscape in there. So you'll be able to have some view of everything that's coming through here. I'm just going to throw this across here to make sure. And I had considered using the diorite, but I think I like it better blending into the steps so it doesn't stand out quite as much. And then also, the reason that I chose this color is because I want to have that, like, greenery kind of effect in the inside. So I didn't want it to I think when I did this last time, I ended up putting it on the bottom step and then building it up and maybe taking it back off. I'm a big proponent of making sure you can't fall off of stuff. I mean, it's on peaceful right now, so it's not, I think I went up too high though. Let me see. Yeah, I definitely went up too high. I don't think that needs to be there, does it? Oops, let's drop down and see if we can fall off. Oh, I can't fall off. I guess I do need it to be up higher. Oh, can I fall off? That's my test. Can I fall off right here? Whoops, I could have fallen off right there since I didn't put any. And again, I have it on, it's on peaceful and I guess it doesn't need to be right there. I guess it does need to be there so it will join. Is that how that was down there? Why does it look different? Oh, I put it on the outside, that's why. So it didn't block the steps, and I broke that block, and I put the wrong block back in. Alright, let's fix that, take that off of there. There we go. So now it can just go. I mean, if I wanted to, I could put it on the outside. Maybe we can see how that looks on this level. If we want to do that instead. But I just didn't want it to take up a lot of space in the middle. Let's cut those out of there. I mean, it looks okay that way. How does it look? Let's see. What do we think? I guess it looks more cohesive that way. And you know, and that's one thing with when you're designing any kind of thing, just kind of testing it out, seeing what you like better. I'm going to leave it both ways for right now because I can't decide. I can see the pros and cons of both ways. I don't know. I guess it depends on, do I want that straight, unbroken block look like this? Or do I want it where it's more broken up visually? I mean, because it looks kind of cool that way, but alright, well, we'll think about it. Now, in almost every door that I've used anywhere in any of the builds that I've done have been the oak door with the paned window, but that just doesn't really seem like it would go with this, so I haven't quite decided what door to use. So if you have any ideas, you can put it in the comments. I'll take that under advisement. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take this blue terracotta, which actually looks kind of purple, and I'm going to just, and the cyan, and I'm just going to build this up until it gets to what would be the height of the whole building. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm going to kind of step back and see how it looks from far away. And I like to do that a lot, especially look at all the people over there like, what's going on in our village? I find it interesting sometimes seeing what the villagers are doing. I thought it might be fun to make a day in the life. Okay, so from this, which is our floor, and one thing that I like to do when I'm like counting out a floor is, okay, here's the floor level, and then if we do 1, 2 for the window, 1 above the window, so then this is the ceiling. And then I'm just gonna go like this. Oh, well, that's, now, is that crazy or what? It's the exact, I couldn't do that again if I tried. Alright, so now I'm going to kind of come over this way and see what it looks like. And you can see, yeah, I like the way that the blue and the purple looks, but I think it's going to be too much if I don't do more of that. And so now I need to decide, do I want just the purples in the corner and have like a double blue and maybe some blue and purple in the middle. That might work out the best. Because I think it's going to be too much if there's a lot of white, because the white is so white. I mean, even from here, you can see how white it is. Look at that. The villagers are wandering around in there already, and I haven't even finished building it. Okay. And then the other thing I'll have to decide, which actually I will probably, a lot of the roofs I make, either the stone or the wood, but I think with the building material I have chosen, I'm probably going to leave it, oh, you know what I just thought of? If I did one more set of stairs, then there could be roof access and have, oh yeah, that's a good idea. All right, so I'm going to throw one more set of stairs on here. But I think I'm going to do them as just a 2. Unless it looks weird. We can always go back and add another one on there. Because this is going to be for just access to the roof. And then we can do like a whole rooftop garden. Which will be cool. So that actually means that that's probably going to need to go up one if I do this the same as the 6. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that's that 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. See, that's already putting us above where our. So I think that will be good. So we'll just make. So this is going to be then now our floor level, which I'm just going to put a couple white blocks there so that I remember that that's what it's going to be for. Which that would be what the roof would be. And I think that's needs to go up one then. Yes. Let's see if I can eyeball it. Yeah, it just is going to need to go up one. So this will go up one also. Alright, now let's look at it from over on this side. Yeah, I think that will work out, because then we'll have the ground floor and then 1, 2, 3 floors, so 4 floors plus the roof, and we'll be able to make a cool roof. That's one of the things that in Minecraft when I'm building, I typically don't make roofs like the ones right here, where it's just a roof. And actually I have a few flat ones that are just roof. I usually make it so that you can access it, and like I put like the little benches and flowers and stuff so that you can actually go up on top of them. Although for whatever reason the villagers will go up on top of that roof by the church and there's not any flowers or anything up there, but whatever. They can do them. Okay, so this is kind of giving me the basics of the inside of my building, and from there what will happen is, so I'll have, and I'm just gonna use a white block to block out, so as you can see I have the 4, so there would need to be like a door like here. Well, I'll probably make it a double door, and then there would need to be a door that accesses this one, which could actually be here, because there's not going to be that hallway below it, so it'd be able to do that. And if we wanted to keep it kind of consistent, we could do the doors, so there would be a door here and a door here. Doubles. And then I can go in and fill that floor in. And that's just going to be a lot of block filler in. But you can see I'm trying to figure it out so that it's going to divide it kind of evenly. My thought was that maybe this top floor before you get to the roof could be more like a penthouse one. So maybe there would just be 2 units on the very top floor, but the other ones would be more the 4 divided into, or even when I start laying it out, that's a pretty big area. I could even divide it up and have like another one over here or something like that. So I'll kind of figure out how that's going to go. But you can see we got a good start. I have a good pattern going. I have my colors chosen. So I'm going to sign off, and then I'll work on this some more. And then once I have filled in a bunch of the like filler kind of stuff, I'll come back and we can talk about that. And I'm probably going to change the pattern a little bit. I'm going to set myself down right over here. So if you have any questions or comments, throw them in the comments below, and I'll try to respond to them. But you can see I'm just really trying to go kind of step by step into how I put together some of my bigger buildings in case you wanted to do something like that too. Thanks for watching, and hope you have a great evening, and check out the next ones in the Mega Village building an